Okay, hello again, folks, and specifically for my friend Kat, who will own this machine soon. This is part two of the restoration of what I believe is a Eaton's department store brand wringer washer that was known as Viking, not to be confused with the company Viking that makes commercial ranges. Probably from the late 40s, I'm guessing maybe 1948. And this video will just show the machine basically in pieces because tomorrow it will be reassembled and basically ready for use. I'll call this a soft restoration because I literally didn't take it apart like I completely disassemble a Maytag, including the power unit typically. This machine was built in such a way that the power unit can't be accessed unless the tub is removed. And as the video in part one outlined, that was impossible or next to impossible for this. So we'll call this a soft restoration. I drained the oil out of the gearbox, which was very easy to do. It's got a little drain cock there, and it just takes a heavyweight gear oil. There's the refill nut that comes out to fill it. It says oil on it, as you can see. And I think I showed you this in the first video, but there it is again. Fairgrieve and Son Ltd. So the major challenge, as I mentioned, was this spigot, and problem is solved. So what we're going to do is use the vertical drain. I've attached a tap on there, and a little bit of water just came out, you see. So that'll be nice and easy to use. You can attach a garden hose or some sort of a regular laundry hose onto the end of that. This originally was going to seal off the horizontal part of the drain, but I decided it would make a good clean out valve should anything get stuck in there. So there we have it. You can stick a wire in there and clean it out should need be. Or if the machine is being used outside, you could use this to actually drain it as well. This is a little fixture from I think it's for a shower head or something. It's just a decorative coupling. So I thought that finished it off nicely. And then this is all sealed in with JB Weld epoxy. So it's in there good and tight. And there, that little cap just can stay on. And here's the wringer in all its pieces. So the drain plates, I've got one completely wire brushed. The other, it's so much work. Sandblasting would be better, but I don't have access to a sandblaster right now, so I might just paint them white. Although it sure does look nice and polished metal. Kat had told me she prefers polished metal for the top of the frame, so there, this has now been clear coated. And there's a nice shot of the Lovell brand that's stamped on the side. And the wringer frame itself all nicely painted white with appliance epoxy. And here is the components to the wringer, which is quite interesting, a little bit different than a Maytag. So it's got this cam here that goes over the drive shaft. If I can do this one-handed, I really need a cameraman. So that just slips on. Might have to, oh, there we go. Okay. So what that does is when the other gear is on, you just have to imagine that, the lever here, control lever, pushes the cam back and forth and then engages either the forward or the reverse as it slides across. So it works both those gears. Different than a Maytag in that the gear is together, permanent, and it's the entire gear assembly that moves back and forth. In this case, the gear is stationary, but this cam moves, which is, I just found that interesting because it's different than a Maytag. And there's the wringer head, as it's called, and then those decorative pieces over there will get screwed onto the outside. once it's put together. And that is cast aluminum. And there's the bushings made out of hardwood. And that's the little clutch for the drive on the Wringer. I've never actually seen these break, but I think in principle this is what breaks should the Wringer bind. So rather than the gears getting damaged, this thing just cracks in half and prevents the gears from jamming. So if the rollers bind, then the gears won't be damaged. So I think that's what that little thing is. That's about it. I guess the next video will be when it's in operation. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.